Hey man, we about to watch this Ellen DeGeneres. We haven't heard her in a minute, I ain't gonna lie. But I've heard that she was the one eating babies, drinking baby blood, doing all the cult activities and stuff with her weird ass. And I'm just not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Just off the eye test, you could tell something not right. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm digging, but you know what I'm saying? You can just tell something ain't right. Like she give like one of those creepy women, she-males.
Might have had the biggest fall from grace of all time. In just a matter of days, her 2 decades reign as the queen of daytime TV completely fell apart. And despite her self-proclaimed title as the nicest person in show business,
see, that nice shit, I seen through that shit. Another thing, I genuinely don't know what happened to her. I remember her being there when, you know what I'm saying, being live. Okay, calling her the queen of the daytime was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know what happened to her.
There were some clear warning signs as to who she really was. Like when she pressured Mariah Carey into revealing her pregnancy before she was ready.
The other thing is that people are saying that that you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to answer.
That's okay. No, honestly,
you don't have to answer. Let's just toast with champagne and decide.
But they've been saying that since we.
The moment came all the way
that's petty.
12 years before the truth about Ellen would really come out. Mariah, like countless celebrities before her,
and then she do it with a smile, though. You know what I'm saying? She do it with a smile. I'm gonna stop pausing it.
would come onto the daytime talk show expecting some easy questions and some wholesome fun. But instead, halfway through the interview, Ellen ambushed her with questions about rumors that she was pregnant. While the audience were laughing along at the time, it's clear now just how uncomfortable this really was.
I can have some champagne. It's just fattening. So
you can have champagne?
That's not champagne because you can't.
No, it
have
is.
One. Is it really?
Yeah. You want to taste it?
I can't believe you did this to me, Ellen.
What? No.
Get this right. Read between the lines, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. Don't be naive.
Ellen is doing this is peer pressure.
At its finest.
Not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant.
Oh my God! Force it in her hand.
By doing this, Ellen put Mariah into an awful position, either having to endanger her future child or reveal her personal life to the entire world.
Hey, Christian, you see how she held it, didn't indulge in it?
Incredibly abusive and invasive to do this to someone, especially on live television, knowing what happened afterwards. You see, Mariah lost her child later on in her pregnancy.
Damn!
The interview showed just how much this moment affected her.
I have my own dog. Actually, she's pregnant. I have 2 dogs. Both.
Well, her master isn't.
Her master. Well, let me take some of the vodka next to me.
Why don't you answer?
Ellen did that to me and tried to put me on the spot.
All right.
With some alcohol.
Okay. I'm not
Real
trying.
alcohol.
I'm trying to put you on the spot.
No.
In an interview a
grudges.
year later on with Larry King, she's nearly in tears from discussing what Ellen did. The wound was still raw. In an interview from 2020 with Vulture magazine, Mariah Carey said that, quote, "I was extremely uncomfortable with that moment is all I can say, and I really have had a hard time grappling with the aftermath. I didn't enjoy that moment." What this did was show that Ellen's actions still hurt years and years after the fact, all just for a bit of gossip on daytime talk show that people only remember now because of how awful this really was. It's moments like this that make you doubt how Ellen ever got a reputation for kindness, or how she even got started in the industry to begin with. In truth, it was a rocky road at first. Ellen began her career and ended it recently as a comedian. For years she had great success, working her way up from comedy clubs into the mainstream. This gave her parts in films, and eventually her very own self-titled sitcom. But in 1997,
What the hell? She had her own shit?
she came out to the world. This was one of the first times this had ever happened.
She looked like my damn fucking elementary fucking gay PE coach, Cotswolds. With her swole ass. Like, you knew she was gay. I ain't gonna lie, you could tell how she was rocking the hats and some more shit. You could tell that she was gay.
Big star. And while her bravery was praised by the show business world, it also either caused or
Like a Tanner.
with a sharp drop in the show's popularity. It was cancelled just 1 season later. An attempt at a different sitcom didn't work either, and for a few years, Ellen slowly faded out of the public eye. That was until 2003, when she got a role that would restart her career and kickstart her journey back up to the top. In many ways, Dory from Finding Nemo was the
Forgot this hoe was
Ellen in her
Dory.
image. She played the scatterbrained but energetic and upbeat character so well that it felt like it was made for her. and the massive success of this film, especially her role in it, gave her the exact blueprint she needed. Ellen would then take this and synthesize it into a whole new vision for her career, playing a version of this character for the next 20 years. In that very same year, Ellen then began hosting the Ellen DeGeneres show. Her positive, innocent, and energetic persona cut a stark contrast to the rest of the daytime TV landscape. For years, shows like The Jerry Springer Show had dominated TV with their focus on conflict and taking it as far as possible. But Ellen was seemingly different, with people describing her interviewing style as like talking to an innocent, overexcited 12-year-old, as it gave this impression of a wholesome, harmless show that was easily digested by the masses. But as we find out later on, it was all just a performance. Even before the truth finally came out though, there were a whole lot of hints coming up to this. You see, Mariah wasn't the only celebrity to have negative experiences on The Ellen Show. Over the years, there have been way too many awkward and toxic moments to count.
Why do you deny it?
After this, we're gonna watch all the awkward encounters.
As a lot of Ellen's jokes often relied at poking fun at her guests, whoever they might have been. And while most of the time this came off as good-natured banter, sometimes her angles of the attack would reveal the depths of her inner prejudices. Ellen actually often had a go at translators she had on the show, as well as the guests that they were translating for. I mean, just take a look at how she spoke to one translator in this clip.
学会在学怎么弹电子吉他，你还想再学
Just one question, just what else does he want? I don't know what you're telling him, but just ask him what I'm saying.
Okay, sorry.
Translation is hard on its own.
Yeah, look at the unsettlingness she has in her look. Look, this shit is straight menacing. She's irritated right now. She lucky that the crowd was laughing and shit, cause she definitely was not laughing. I ain't gonna lie.
Is hard on its own, let alone between a child and an adult in front of a live audience. Then, without any clue as to whether her assumptions are right, Ellen cuts off the translator mid-sentence like she's taking too long. Then Ellen would spend the next few minutes digging further,
complaining,
finally ending it by saying that she's lost interest and cutting off the kid mid-sentence.
Never mind. Okay.
Hints like these were rare at first. Most of the time on the show, she was being kind, doing giveaways with the studio's money, and just generally reinforcing her on-screen persona.
So you're going through a tough time financially. It's just hard with 4 kids. Why don't I just give you every single thing we gave away on all 12 days?
It was hard for people to see her slip-ups as anything more than just a bad day. Meanwhile, whenever Ellen made audience members or guests feel small, they couldn't really do anything about it. Her fame and her power over the world of show business, combined with everyone thinking that she was this lovely, wholesome person, made her untouchable. It was only sometimes when she had guests on her level of fame that she was ever actually challenged. Ellen's relationship with Taylor Swift was an interesting example. At first, she treated her like any of her other
what's up with the graphics? It's not me, y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
Generally making jokes at her expense. It was after years of these that Taylor and her friend Zac Efron decided to get back at Ellen in possibly the most innocent way possible, by writing a song about it to perform on the show itself. Regardless of how you feel about Taylor Swift, it's kind of satisfying to see Ellen get a taste of her own medicine. She has to pretend to enjoy this while you can tell that on the inside she absolutely hates being upstaged, called out in a way that she really can't respond. The way she's holding onto her armrest so tightly proves how much she's struggling to hold herself back. While all of this might have just been speculation, Taylor's next appearance on the show proved Ellen was definitely holding a grudge. Later that year, during Taylor's next appearance, Ellen decided to probe at a topic that struck a nerve with Taylor for years: her love life. In the interview, Ellen started out by implying that Taylor was dating Zac Efron, who she was just on the show with previously, before launching into a game designed to reveal Taylor's private life.
You were here with your boyfriend Zac Efron last time.
No, I haven't talked to him in a while because we didn't date.
Yes, you did. Why do you deny it?
Because we didn't.
Oh, okay. So, which song is about Zac on the
See the passive aggressiveness? I hear it. Okay.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. Here's what I'll do. You
Again.
don't have to say. I'm going to show pictures. Here's a bell, and you ring it.
I don't know if I'm going to do this.
Yeah, you will.
This is the one thing that I have. It's like the one shred of dignity that I have is I know that.
What do you mean one shred of dignity? Just filled with dignity. Ring it on 3 different guys. We'll narrow it down. So ring it 3 different times. You're supposed to ring.
But I don't want to. I don't want to. What are you doing?
Okay, all right.
All the while, Taylor's protesting about how she doesn't want to do this, that it's the last part of her life that's still private, and that it gives a bad impression. It's exactly what she called Ellen out on before, and she's almost brought to tears. It's clearly been designed by Ellen to take revenge on Taylor for calling her out. She's gleeful in how uncomfortable it's making her, while she presses ahead despite protesting it. Taylor meanwhile knows that walking out would be a massive scandal for the tabloids. so all she can really do is just sit and take it. Whilst these were some of the more famous on-screen hints as to who Ellen really was, there were definitely plenty of others. Over time, they began to add up, and slowly, year by year, the illusion began to grow.
Alright, nigga was alive now.
Before we continue, I want to tell you about our video sponsor. Imagine
Fuck your sponsor, brother.
so much
Fuck that sponsor, let they come sponsor me. What?
Ellen merchandise from it. One time they had a fake giveaway where people from the audience were told just to take one piece of Ellen merchandise from a table. It was all a setup designed to catch someone out. When one lady took something extra for her sister, Ellen would replay the secret footage of it to the whole world just to shame her. Then she made her sit in a so-called prison right in front of everyone, away from the main audience.
So before the show, I put out some Ellen products with a sign that said only one per person. And I just wanted to see how honest my audience was, you know? But we set up hidden cameras just to make sure. I mean, any of you could have taken more than one thing, and you didn't. Except for these ladies right here. Listen, I really...
Dang, they already knew.
I'm sorry, that's embarrassing and everything, but you know, let that be a lesson to you, because you think... It is. You think nobody's watching you, and you just need to be a good person just because you want to be a good person. You go sit in that Ellen jail over there right now.
And she did it? I guess cause she, hey, tell a black person to go do that. Ain't gonna lie. Word to, I'm not doing that shit. Tell, who the fuck are you, Ellen? Watch out. Hey, I stole that shit and I did that for my sister. Now what? The fuck? I took one for her. I'm looking out for her. She wanted me to go here for you whole time. Come on, bro.
Something marginally wrong, and Ellen took her response way too far. But to get on Ellen's bad side, you didn't even need to do anything wrong at all. One time a fan of the show sent in a painting they had made of Ellen and her wife. It seemed to be a lovely gesture born out of how much someone had loved the show. But instead of praising it or treasuring it, or even just ignoring it, Ellen called them out on live TV and made fun of the portrait instead.
And here it is. Yeah. That's what I said when I saw it. Oh. It's called Ellen and Portia number 10. He took 10 tries, but he finally got it. This is when Portia and I would weave our hair together. We would, It's actually a good portrait of Ryan Seacrest and Kelly Ripa. I may send it to them.
Whenever anyone put a stop to this or tried to outshine Ellen on her own show, she would react very strongly. Some people like Ricky Gervais naturally just showed her up. In a strange trivia game she made him play against her on the show, he beat her both at the game and made quicker, funnier jokes than her. You can see how much this annoys her, but she
yes. Let's see this whole real character.
As time went on, little moments like these slowly led an open secret in Hollywood and show business as a whole. The fact that Ellen was actually not nice at all. It's actually amazing how much evidence there is of this from just her on-air performances. In the later part of the 2010s, things only got so much worse for Ellen. While on the surface the show did seem to still perform well, it wasn't where it once was. Years and years of keeping up this character had clearly drained Ellen. She stopped her iconic dancing, brought in guest hosts, recycled content, and just generally put up far less effort into the whole thing. Meanwhile, her ability to keep up the persona had begun to fall apart.
All them damn babies she eating got her cheeks fat and shit.
Backfiring. In one interview with Dakota Johnson, for example, Ellen pressed her on not being invited to her birthday party. But little did she know that Dakota was already well prepared for this jab.
You turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited. Last time I was on the show, last year, you gave me a bunch of shit about not inviting you, but I didn't even know you wanted to be invited.
Well, who doesn't want to be invited to a party?
Well, I didn't even know you liked me.
This one clip from 2019 went viral and did major damage to Ellen's reputation, which was already beginning to fall apart at the seams. It also showed the laziness that had taken over the show as well as Ellen's severely overinflated ego, and you can see how much it troubles her as it unfolds. She knows she just got caught completely red-handed, especially as she pulled exactly the same trick last year. By the time 2020 rolled around, Ellen's show was truly on its last legs. When lockdown came, it only upended things even more. Ellen's show couldn't continue as it had. I mean, you can't really sit down with people every day and have a live audience when everyone's in quarantine. But what was much worse for Ellen's career than the lockdown's effects on the show was how she handled it herself. Like other celebrities, she was fully involved in the whole imagined publicity stunt. Then she made posts talking about how she felt like she was in prison, all from one of the many rooms in one of her multi-million-dollar mansions. Just the honest stuff we've already seen should have easily been enough to get people asking questions. But there were also tons of hints based on how she acted off-set as well. In fact, it was these little moments that are likely to have contributed to her downfall far more than what happened in front of the cameras. In individual moments with fans and members of the public, Ellen showed her true colors. Each of these small examples of disrespect weren't enough on their own, but added up, they created an awful career-ending picture. Once this finally broke, it was going to be all over for Ellen. It was in 2020 that these experiences really came into focus, when the comedian Kevin Porter asked people for their negative Ellen experiences on Twitter, offering charity donations in return for each one. And he couldn't have ever expected the massive outpouring of stories.
God damn, y'all!
2,600 replies and counting, it seemed like everyone in Hollywood who had met Ellen had something awful to say. So many things that you can't think for 1 second they weren't based on the truth. To list just a few highlights, there were tons of stories about Ellen insisting that people should look at her or talk to her. She would not thank or even acknowledge people who brought her things like coffee, or she would just completely ignore the live audience when she didn't absolutely have to talk to them. One waitress who served Ellen and her wife at a restaurant was allegedly insulted by her and shamed for having chipped nail polish of all things. A week later, she was then fired after Ellen strangely and viciously complained about her to her managers. And if that wasn't bad enough, the majority of the complaints came from people who worked on her show. There were numerous reports of a toxic working environment, racism, prejudice, insults, and people would get fired for speaking up, or even just taking bereavement or medical leave. This all got the ball rolling, and from just one Twitter thread, the open secret was no longer taboo. A few months later, BuzzFeed then released information from the first formal investigation of the show. It included far more detail and tons more allegations against the show and Ellen herself.
Wait, a black woman who used to work on Ellen, so they spread racist comments. I told you she look. I'm not gonna be one of those, but I told you from the eye test she looked like one of those that like, hey, watch her, red flag. During her 1.5 years as an employee, she was hired senior producer with another black. Oh wow, you both have box braids. I hope we don't get you confused. I'm sorry, I only know the white people who work here. Watch out.
While the reputation of niceness that Ellen had built insulated her for years, it
that's all I wanted to see, how the black people were getting treated.
Publicly known. Deprived of the very selling points and idea behind her show and her persona, she was forced to retire. After the allegations, the show carried on for one more tired season. Then it was cancelled, never to return. Now it's worth asking how this could have gone on for so long in the first place though. Fame and power obviously give people their own protection, but it's still a testament to the rot within Hollywood and show business that this could ever happen.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm just hating that nigga at the end of the day. She is not attractive, this smile is creepy. I don't understand how the fuck America like this so much. Like, this is actually like, if I would see this all the time, I'm like, how are you this jolly? You aren't real. Going in. My bad.
Ellen built an entire brand on being kind and open, while undermining people, being rude to people, and treating them like trash the whole time. And it's not even just her. People like James Corden have also had similar allegations. But all of this makes her recent Netflix special all the more insulting, where she still plays the victim and acts like all of this was just overblown. However, these are the same techniques that kept her on the top. Celebrities that came onto the show only to get insulted or humiliated, they couldn't speak out. They're forced to appear on these shows most of the time anyway to just promote their movies or music. Then they have to endure whatever happens just to get some publicity. Ellen took advantage of this power imbalance. If they spoke up without enough proof, then they would be risking their own careers and reputation within the entire industry. Audience members and less famous guests were in the exact same position, only they wouldn't even be heard if they spoke up anyway. Lastly, there were the people working for her who were completely at her mercy. They didn't have any choice at all. Their whole livelihoods depended on staying on Ellen's good side or flying under her radar. It's this popularity contest and these social pressures that enabled someone like Ellen to have so much power and fame in the first place. What's more, Ellen used her immense wealth and fame to become a house flipper for celebrities, and this gave her even more influence in Hollywood circles, perpetuating her career in spite of how awful she treated everyone. This is how she spends her time now. Most recently, she bought yet another mansion in the British countryside, along with a ton of other multi-million.
I ain't trying to hear about all the fucking shit she doing with her money and shit. I ain't gonna lie, fuck you, Ellen. I ain't gonna cap, fuck you. I don't know what you did, but I know for a fact you do something That's I know for a fact. I could just be what's it called, but I am a hater at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But